All right, welcome everyone to a brand new edition of the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you today from Studio B at CTV. Alongside me, I got Vito Canena. Vito, welcome back.
Thank you.
Other side of the glass, we got Brian and also Kenny. Thank you guys for getting the show going. Finally back in the studio after, 8 shows, something like that. But, we got a lot of a lot going on to talk about. Let's start with first. I'm going to start with my strikers, youth soccer. We're 2-0 in the league. We just started a couple weeks ago. Gabriella scoring a couple of goals last weekend, 2 penalty kick goals, which I think Brian might have a little clip. We might have that clip, so we're going to go right to that if he's ready and show everybody those 2 goals from last weekend. Gabriella, a.k.a. Star, scoring for the Strikers. We're 2-0, 3 straight wins. Whenever you're ready, you could roll that.
You are watching the Staten Island Soccer Report. And don't forget, Monday Live.
All right, Gabriella steps up to the spot. She shoots. She scores. Oh, the Strikers lead 1-0. Here's Gabriella on the second shot. She scores again. Oh, baby, what a goal.
All right, well, there you go.
At least Gabriella made the 2 penalties. Jorginho didn't.
Well, there you go. We're going to talk about the Italian national team in a minute, but Vito, 3 games. Listen, we go to Jersey. We represent the shirt that you're wearing, Staten Island, right? We're representing this borough when we go to Jersey. So, I think Staten Islanders should be proud that the U18 girls soccer team were 3 straight wins, right, in all competitions, and we're 2-0 to start the season. We got a tremendous game next week in Middletown, Jersey. So, look, we're going to try and win this group. It's been a tough last couple of years, for the team as far as wins and losses go. So we're trying everything here. We're going to pull everything out. This is our last season.
Sure.
The girls are graduating out and they're going into college, right? So Staten Island, I promise you, we're gonna give it our all, and we're gonna try and win this group for the island. So
Sounds good.
That being said, there's a lot of youth soccer going on. Again, we're back in the studio now. So if you guys want to call up, we'll probably gonna have a live show next month. We'll go back to our regular schedule.
I thought we were live for life.
Well, we are live for life, but we're live on Facebook right now. So, again, good luck to all the teams, youth soccer teams starting their seasons, and they're a couple of weeks in now. So, good luck to everybody with that. And again, anyone wants to get on the show, just shoot us an email. We're on TikTok now. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And we're on YouTube. All right, all
Awesome.
around. We're on every platform. So it's easy to find us. All right, Vito, I know you've been chopping at the bit here. You want to talk about, now the topic of the show, all right, is soccer disaster or Italian disaster, okay?
Sure.
And that's because the national team, and I'll let you take it away, did not qualify for the 2nd time in a row for the World Cup.
I think, John, we saw this coming because prior, when they tied Northern Ireland, they couldn't beat Bulgaria. You kind of sensed that the direction wasn't there. To make things worse, we don't want to make excuses, but
Right.
Chiesa was injured.
Yeah.
They did have some key injuries. But you know what? This was the game that Mancini had to change, and he didn't. And we spoke about Mario Balotelli should have been there.
Yeah.
We could have used someone there that brought something different, because we saw more of the same, and unfortunately, more of the same caused the same result.
Right, exactly. And, now that we're a couple of weeks past this disaster, right, I'm going to say, and I don't know for a fact, but my opinion would be that Mancini really didn't call the shots. Maybe he wanted Balotelli, right? Everyone's crying for him now, right? But maybe the Federation didn't want him.
Well, the blame is going to go on the Federation, the coach also. Everybody's going to have the blame. But the bottom line is, John, if they don't change things in Serie A with the youth, they don't, you don't get these players to play, we're not going to see another Italy qualification in our lifetime. If it continues like this, I have 2 younger nieces. They haven't seen Italy make it. My nephew, they have not seen Italy qualify.
Thank God they're young. They got a long way to go. Thank God for that. But Vito, if they don't qualify for the next World Cup, FIFA's changing the rules, adding more teams.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be, if you thought this was a disaster,
That's true.
That would be 1,000 times worse. But, we got some work to do.
No, I agree what you're saying, but you know what? This is worse than 4 years ago because, I mean, I was looking at Ventura's comment. At least, he says we went out with Spain and Sweden, but this was, North Macedonia was ranked 67th in the world, John.
Listen, listen,
67.
Vito, I mean, I'm sure you noticed, but again, and soccer players, fans, know you play the game on the field, on the pitch.
True.
It don't matter with a team.
No, you're right, but
you
got
to respect.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I mean,
and look, it's not like the Italians, that 32 shots, right? How many on target?
Yeah.
Right, but they had one.
Yeah.
And it went in.
Exactly. No, that's true. John, but
the
they
nature.
played loose. But the bottom line was, what was the problem with Italy? They had the scoring chances. The finishing has been the problem.
Final third, they didn't
when
finish.
you don't have a Del Piero, you don't have a Vieri, you don't have a Baggio, you don't have a Schilacci, a Totti, there's
Listen,
no...
I just don't think it was a lot of factors. All right, maybe you want to complain about the lineup. I would blame now. I would say it's more the federation than the coach because he's still coaching. They didn't fire him. It wasn't his fault, right?
That's what they say.
So they feel it's not him. So they're keeping him. He's
well,
staying
the
around.
bottom line is, John, I'm going to be honest with you. There's certain coaches that bring like a drill sergeant mentality that's gone there. Some other coaches, Trapattoni.
Right. Yeah.
This coach doesn't bring that.
No, but the federation, right to this point, to today, feels that Mancini is the man to lead Italy.
Well,
now, that leads me to believe he doesn't have full control of selecting players.
Yeah, well...
Because if he did,
Yeah.
and they failed, he'd be gone.
Yeah, but you know something? Like, Ventura mentioned in Palermo after the defeat to North Macedonia, president of the Italian Federation was sitting next to Mancini. In San Siro in 2017, I was alone, Giampiero Ventura, the only guilty one yet. We went out with Spain and Sweden, and now they're defending him.
So because they lost to a country that's not known.
They're defending him because he won the Euro tournament, but you know what?
That's in the past now.
It's a distant memory. The bottom line is, I just don't see Mancini creating anything big. Maybe that's it. That's his big thing is that they won the Euro Cup. But I just feel like I don't see him being like an Ancelotti or Fabio Capello. I think that those guys are just world class and they've won so much.
Right. Well, I sent you the stats on Ancelotti the other day.
Yeah. No, I have them.
But still, again, this is the federation.
Well, the other thing with Mancini I didn't like is he kept on insisting prior to North Macedonia that we would not only qualify for the World Cup, but we would win the World Cup.
Right.
That should never been said.
Well, look, Vito, at some point we got to put this behind us.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? The under-21 coach, Paolo Nicolotto, mentioned, I no longer have players from Serie A for the under-21, and soon I will be calling players from Serie C, the third tier. It's embarrassing, but even
look at
Serie
Bari.
B
There's plenty of good players in Serie C.
Serie B is also foreign. The bottom line is, if Eugenio Fascetti never gave Cassano a chance, we would never know what Cassano brought to the table.
Right.
The bottom line is, if you don't exploit the young and you don't give them an opportunity, you're never going to have a real good team because these young players, in order for them to develop, you have to risk them. You have to give them a chance.
Got to take a chance, right?
You cannot let them sit the bench. There should be a rule. You cannot leave Italy 10 years before you can get a big contract.
There was a coach that had that rule in place, Lippi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't play in Italy, you're not playing on the national team. But again, we spoke about that offline. You can't. How are you stopping players from big contracts? So you're going to tell me like PSG, right?
No, I understand, but you know what it is, John? The balance. If you don't have when Italy won the World Cup, there was 7-8 players from Juventus.
Yeah.
They called it Il Blocco Nazionale. If you can't get 2 players from Sassuolo, 2 players from Milan, you need that team to break loose and players that play with each other.
Right.
There was no chemistry. And that's the problem, John.
Well, maybe, I would probably agree with more time for all national teams to play together, train together. Maybe they need more time.
I agree with you on that because I'm glad you brought that up because it comes after the Italian Federation President Gravina requested last month for Italy's top flight to postpone one round of Serie A, and it was rejected. It would have given the Italian team 3 extra days to prepare instead of only 1 day.
I would do it better than that. I would do 2 weeks off for club teams, right? And let the national team train for a week and then play a game, right?
Yeah,
then time to recover.
You're right. And he also mentioned our coaches have a very difficult job in choosing players because about 30% of the youth team players are Italian. Another issue is that while the lads arrive with enthusiasm, every time we call them up the clubs put up resistance. They see the national
Right,
team as more of an irritation than opportunity.
Well, don't forget the club teams. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Right now we're talking about the money that
they're
you brought in again.
That's right, and
Right.
they're afraid of injuries.
Right. Exactly.
They're afraid, you know.
So it's a tough thing. Again, you just got to keep moving forward here. Italy's not going to make the World Cup again in 2022.
The first time in history, 2 consecutive World Cups. So this is the team that in 34 and 38 repeated as World Cup champion, and this is the
Right.
first time in history.
So
they're not
here's
going
what this is
2
equivalent.
times in a
It's
row.
equivalent to Italian Sunday dinner without the bread.
That's true.
All right, you're having your pasta,
That's a good one.
right, and no bread to dip it in the
that's
sauce.
true, that's
and that's
true.
like that's the same thing. World Cup without Italy, there's no bread on the table on Sunday morning.
That's true.
So
Well, they got to do something. I think they're
They-
like
this-
finding the presidents if they're gonna, because all these teams like Inter, they're all foreign. If they're not gonna put a rule in place, like Sassuolo, all Italian.
Right.
But if you're not gonna
Well,
put
look,
a rule
I don't
in
know
place,
about that. Look, again, you just want to keep your players. I'm okay with keeping them in their country, but then again, you got issues with that too. Issues are going to come up with that.
Well, the problem is that Serie A sold out. They became very
And
international.
it's all about the
Yeah, that's
it's
the
about
problem.
the money. It's
That's the
all
problem.
this game.
Did you hear what Sandro Togliatti, former Body player, said? Body would have beaten North Macedonia 7-0. He said.
Yeah. Well, possibly, but you know what? Let's put the Italian national team on the men's side to rest.
I just want to say a couple of things.
Finish there.
We'll
Let's-
come back with it.
because
Capello urged
I wanna-
Italy to follow Jurgen Klopp's brand of football, not
Yeah.
Guardiola, as he claims trying to copy the Manchester City boss methods for 15 years led to their embarrassing failure to not reach the World Cup in Qatar. So that's, he's been very vocal, Capello, but it's a shame that, he never coached them. He coached other international.
Right, Ireland.
He coached England and Russia.
Right. So, all right. So, Vito, put an end to this.
Just a couple-
Let's close it out.
One other thing, Roberto Mancini's mother mentioned that she would have called up Balotelli and questioned the son's decision to leave him out.
Right. Look, I called for him from the last World
Yeah,
Cup.
I
I
know.
wanted him on the last one.
And Bonucci says we played everything in one game, all out in one game. It's an absurd system. Nations qualify for the World Cup after losing 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Ecuador lost 6 games, they're in, and we lost 1 game in the 92nd minute.
Look, the United States made, we sat here 4 years ago and we said, with Vincenzo, again, Vincenzo's always part of the show as you see him on the screen. And we said, which team, all 3 of us, I think,
Yeah,
agreed
you
that
mentioned
the
that.
Italians will be back quicker than the United States national team, and it wasn't so. So we were wrong on that, even though they won the Euros.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, winning that, has nothing to do with qualifying for the World Cup. So, that being said, Vito, we could jump into Serie A.
Yeah, no
You know.
problem. I mean, to be honest, John, ever since they took away just their goal and it was on the rye, I'm not really seeing much of the.
Well, the Serie A games are on
Yeah,
Paramount.
I know.
They're on Paramount, and I got that. If you have T-Mobile, you get that for free.
Yeah, but
Just
I
so
know,
you-
I know.
if you-
But
if
I
it's-
just have a busy schedule. But you know what I want to say about this World Cup? It's the World Cup of Messi and Ronaldo. They will reach their 5th and final appearance at the World Cup
as players.
as players. But how fitting would it be if they met in the final? But we'll see.
That's a storybook ending, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But,
Exactly.
what if they don't even make it
To the
out
first
of
round.
the group
That's
stage?
true, that's a good point.
This is look what
Yeah.
happened to Italy. You can always
Yeah.
go back to that
That's
game,
true.
and you got these brackets here starting
Yeah.
from the round of 16.
right. Yeah.
Half these teams are probably not even going to make it.
There's a lot of interesting scenarios. And John, off the air, you mentioned
How
to
many
me-
African teams you have past the round of 16?
I do have.
Because
I have.
Cameroon is going to go far.
Well, I got Senegal in the round of 16. I like to see Cameroon go far. The last time Cameroon played Brazil in the Confederations, Cameroon beat them.
Right, and Senegal, well, I don't know what they look like now, but they were always a
I've
good team.
talked to people about Senegal. They feel that this team is better than the one that went to the quarterfinals
Okay.
in 2002.
Okay, all right.
And that time there was no.
So you can't sleep on
and
that.
there was no VAR in 2002.
Right.
And they got screwed against Turkey because
Right.
they called the goal offside. It wasn't offside.
Okay.
So no, I believe Senegal will do well. They have they're the African champions. They knocked out Egypt,
yeah,
Salah's team.
Yep. Right. So
I think Senegal is-
So be careful with that and stop going with the usual suspects. But the Brazils and the Argentinians.
Yeah, I don't have them.
And the France.
Yeah.
Forget about England. England.
Well, Brian was high on England 4 years ago. They went far 4 years ago.
No, false, fake news. He's saying no over the glass. There.
Well, he had
No.
the English jersey.
Well, he
If you look
had the
back-
jersey, but
He had the jersey. He
I
said
think
they were
that
going to go.
I think that was a fluke. I don't know. He just
4
bought
years
it.
ago.
It might have been on sale or something like that. Yeah, they were probably giving it away at what you call it there.
But,
Sporting goods store. So
I'll tell you my bracket, John. I really would love to see this final, Croatia, Belgium, two teams that got to
Yep.
this to the last four.
Right.
Well, Croatia was the finalist. They got to the final, and Belgium got knocked down to third place.
Right.
I mean, they got third place, but they got knocked down the semi.
Right.
But I
who?
believe
Who knocked them out?
France. But you know what?
France.
Belgium could have won that game. They didn't capitalize on their opportunities.
They were an
had
aging.
chances.
They were an aging team. Belgium, right? They're still. They
Well,
were older.
Well,
I don't know who they
have
added.
a lot of young. Next show. I did a lot of research.
Get the ages. Yeah.
I did a lot of research. You're gonna be surprised. They have some good young players on this team.
Right.
But they're ranked 2. Maybe the pressure is not so much when they were number 1 for 4
Right,
years. They got
yeah.
knocked out. Now they're number 2.
Look, I'm just a little wary of going with the same teams that we always go with. I want to see. I'd like to see the U.S. Get past.
You'd be surprised. I have the United States in the quarters beating
Yeah,
Holland.
yeah, that's fine. If they get to if they get that far,
Yeah.
that would be great for them because they're. I think they're the youngest team in the
They are
tournament.
age 24. They
Right.
are.
So there you go.
That's what Italy needs to do. You need to get to that youth. You
Right.
need to.
So if you have them in the quarters, that's great
Yeah.
for them. I
Yeah.
think at this point.
Yeah, that's what I.
I want to see. I want to see other
I
countries.
agree with you, John. I don't want to see any team that has won the World Cup win it again.
Right. Well,
But this could be like 2010 when Spain won it for the first time.
Yeah.
We may see someone win it for the first time. Portugal, Belgium's got a shot. Croatia's got a
I
shot.
don't know how you got Poland.
No, I didn't say anything about Poland.
No, I'm just
but-
saying, yeah, Poland.
Oh, my
but,
bracket. Well,
I mean, again, but their goalkeeping is
I
suspect.
think Poland. Well, did you see what happened 4 years ago? Senegal knocked them out.
Right.
They surprised them in the first round. I mean, Poland has been. They got to come through because they've been disappointed in everything.
Well-
the Euros, the World Cup 4 years ago. I mean,
Let's factor in some things here. Now they're in the middle of a season, right? There's not much break,
yeah.
right? They're going to be starting in like September. They start again, right?
Yeah.
And then in November is
Yeah.
the World
Yeah,
Cup, right
yeah.
after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Black Friday. They said get the popcorn.
That's for the U.S.
USA, England, Black
right,
Friday.
Right. And you know what? That game to me is a toss-up because they know each other. I
That's
think
true.
they know each other well.
Well, you know what England wants to avoid is Wales and Scotland qualifying because that's another rival for them.
rivalry. Yeah. Okay. Look,
But
let's.
I tell you, what about Ukraine? I mean, that's just been devastating.
Well, the June 1st, they're
That's
playing
what
their
they're saying.
playoff game.
That's what they're saying.
Scotland.
No, but I'm saying what's going on in Ukraine has just been.
Well, that's for another show. We're
Yeah.
not going to do politics, but yeah, no, we definitely support no attacks, no invasion on any country, no wars and stuff like that. So, innocent people dying, no, we're against that. We don't want to see none of that, and we want to be free.
It's true.
Everybody wants to be free,
I
right?
tell you, if Ukraine gets out of this playoff, people think they're going to have so much motivation because of what's going on that they're going to play their hearts out.
I mean, I don't even know how they can even play a game with what's going on in their country right now, but if they do, hats off to them.
well,
And
did you see the other way around? Russia got banned, no longer.
yeah, right.
They
Well,
got sanctioned.
hey,
and-
listen,
Poland
when
got-
you do what you do,
yeah,
what they're
Poland,
doing, yeah. But listen. Aside from what's going on in that country, the Ukrainian soccer team was always a good team.
They were.
You can't say they always.
I
You
agree.
can't say they suck. No, they were
No,
always
no.
good. They
Look
always
what
had
they
good
did.
players. Look what
what they
Milan
did.
had.
Yeah,
Milan had one of great.
Shevchenko.
There you go.
2006, we met them in the quarters.
Right. So the Ukrainians know how to play the game.
That's true.
So and what they can do in this playoff here, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, are their minds going to be on the game?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a tough game to play for Ukrainian players. So good luck to them. So again, Vito, I just want to see something different.
Yeah.
I want to see something.
Well, you're high on the African teams, and I'll be
I'm
honest.
high on the African teams because of their fitness.
I agree.
I think they can, and that matters.
Yeah,
big time, right?
I
you can,
agree.
You can outfit somebody maybe.
And
from a fitness
actually,
level.
they're going to be pretty. They're going to feel like they're at home because Qatar is not that far
Not
from
far, right.
Africa.
So they don't have to travel far.
So they're going to have a big fan base.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they have yet to make it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Maybe this is their time.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are playing in
Well,
elite
there's
leagues.
two, right? There's two African teams, right?
5.
Oh, there's 5.
Yeah, you
Name
got-
me the 5 of them, because again,
Morocco,
Morocco,
Ghana,
Ghana,
Senegal,
right?
Cameroon,
Cameroon.
and Tunisia.
Okay. Cameroon and Senegal stand out
Yeah.
to me to be like maybe the 2 of the 5 that are
Yeah.
the better.
But you
that are
got
better.
Ghana too. Ghana, but they're not the
well,
Ghana
what they did? They beat Italy or U.S.
that U.S.
They
when
beat the
Claudio
US.
Reyna, when Claudio
Right,
Reyna was
I remember
around.
that one. Right, they
But
beat the U.S.
but this is not. They're saying this is not the Ghana team of
no,
of
no.
2010 when
Of
they got to the
old.
quarters.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? They got Uruguay. This is payback for them.
Right.
Uruguay stole their dream
Oh.
with Suarez with that.
Yeah. Well, it's his last World Cup too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Suarez, yeah.
But you know what?
You didn't mention that.
You know what? Uncle Tony's
the
got Uncle-
famous bite.
Yeah, Uncle Tony's got Ghana in the second round. But you know what? Never know.
No, you're right. You never know, and if they do it advance, that's fine because you're seeing somebody different, right?
Yeah.
I want to see in this World Cup because it's being played in November, right? That's different, right?
That's true.
So I want to see a different results.
And the temperatures are going to be 76.
And you got Belgium, right? It's going to be summertime, hot.
Yeah.
So you got Belgium there in the final, which is fine. But my guess is when I fill this bracket out, I want to see a different name. I want to see Belgium out maybe in the round of 16.
Yeah, but I tell you one thing. This is their last chance with this golden generation.
Yeah, hey,
You
listen,
know what? You know what? The Nations Cup,
it happens.
they
you
were
know.
winning 2-0. Maybe they can. Maybe the maturity level's coming at 2-0. They had France on their tail,
Right.
and then in the second half, the defense let them down.
Yeah.
Maybe those were learning experiences to get them ready for this because they have to break through sooner or later. This is a country that they've never won a European Cup. They've never won any major tournament.
Yeah.
So, but they have probably the best striker in the world, Lukaku. And Mertens, he became the all-time Napoli leading scorer. He just had a son. They named him Ciro.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Napoli. What else on the World Cup? Well,
No, I'm curious to hear your predictions for the World Cup, but also.
I'm definitely gonna have this bracket filled out. I want to wait because I haven't done the study that you did on it. I didn't look into it like you did. I've been focusing more on club teams and my team actually.
Well, did you hear that Chiellini is going to retire from the Italian national team?
Well,
His
he has
final
no
game
choice. He has
will
no
be
choice.
June 1st against Argentina.
Right.
After his tenure at Juventus, he is now looking to play a season in MLS.
Well, Brian, I think he has a video clip that we want to show. That's something that we don't do in soccer. I think it's a really short clip. Here's one thing that we're not going to promote, but we have to show it because I believe it's a straight red card.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen this in a game. I've never seen it in a game either. So whenever Brian's ready, we could roll that.
Indoor.
Well, yeah, that's the goal. I mean, the Facebook side can't see it, but yeah, that was the indoor goal. I was talking more about the foul with the 2 players. Yeah, when you get a chance, Brian, you could roll that one. Thank you for this video. Yeah, that's indoor soccer. Kansas City, I believe it played against Houston and that. Yeah, there's a lot of indoor going around, but we don't have indoor soccer here.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have it back in the probably 80s with the Cosmos and the Arrows. But, yeah, you can roll that tape. It's a short clip. So, Vito, so let's talk about more club teams. Napoli's got an easy path, I believe, the next 5
That's what
games.
they're saying.
All right, Juventus. Yep. Okay. There we go. Watch this, Vito. I mean, if I was refereeing a game,
You are watching the Staten Soccer Report. And don't forget, Monday Live.
famous Vincenzo.
Oh, she pulled it straight down. By a hair. Would this be a straight red?
Now, what would you do in a game like that if you were the referee?
So that's a red card.
That's a red out. You
That's a
can't do
red
that.
card. I'm surprised that it was a women's game. I didn't expect that.
Well, yeah, no, women's game. I mean, it could happen in the men's game too.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, but I wasn't expecting that.
But yeah, that's dangerous and definitely red card, and you're suspended the next week after that.
yeah.
So yeah, let's jump into. Actually, you know what? Here's a little fun fact. This is only the second time that we're doing a Saturday show. Okay, the first time was with Vincenzo. So be honored. You're in that seat. Vincenzo was in the studio for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were sitting in that seat. I believe it was 5 years ago. Not to the day. So, Serie A,
Yeah, it's a
Milan.
three teams.
Who's going to take that? Atlanta fell off a little bit.
Yeah, but Atalanta's not in it. Milan, Inter, Napoli.
Oh, well, I don't think Monopoly's going to win Scudetto, but I think who's going to take it between Milan, both Milan teams? Who's going
I
to?
think it's Milan's Scudetto to lose if they don't. They have control. If they
don't-
take care of the games that they win.
So you
these-
mean they got to win out? If
Yeah,
they
of
win
course.
out, they win, of
That's
course.
it. That's it.
But if they drop any points, Inter's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So and Juventus, we know they had a tough season, tough beginning,
But they came back.
but they always do, and I think a couple more wins, and they'll solidify the fourth spot
Yeah.
for the champion, and that's all they really want.
Yeah,
You know that. But again, we've been talking here for years about Juventus and the Champions League, and they do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they qualify
Well,
for
there's
it.
another reason, John. I'm glad you brought that up. The only team remaining in the Conference League, this new tournament, is Roma. It's like Inter Toto.
Right.
John, all the Italian teams are out.
They're out.
Champions League, Europa League.
Well, Roma lost in the UEFA, right?
No, they're in the Conference League. That's
the
all they're
conference thing, yeah.
in. The new tournament they just did. But,
So,
John, that's another indication of where the Italian national team is. They're not doing anything on the European stage.
on the club side, the club teams, yeah. So Juventus is happy with qualifying for Champions League, but does nothing when they get in there
That's true.
for years now.
Yeah,
When was the
that's
last
right.
time they won a Champions League? Juventus?
1996.
Okay, all right. So that tells you something right there.
Yeah.
With all the money they spent,
Inter 2010.
how much money has Juventus spent since '96
Oh, yeah, a
to
lot.
now?
Yeah.
Right, and they try to get another championship,
Yeah, yeah.
Champions League, and nothing.
Yeah.
All right, so I do want to mention Body. I mean, we should have in the beginning of the show.
They're
Congratulations. Right. I mean, again, it's not it's a victory,
Yeah.
but it's not something we want to be in Serie A, right? Obviously. So they're in the third division of Serie G,
Now they're
right?
going up to B.
They tied today, 0-0. I don't think, they're putting too much effort into these games now, maybe playing the backups more.
Yeah.
So they got one more game next week to wrap up
They
Serie
said
C.
they confirmed the coach for next year.
All right. I mean, see that that's one thing I'm not a believer in. Why not leave it alone and go with the same coach and go up? So who they name?
No, they confirmed them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's staying.
That's fine. Now, but they need more players, right?
Yeah, of course.
So-
B is different.
Right. So you got to sign maybe some better players. How about Buffon?
We'll see.
He's in Serie B, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not leaving Parma. What about Balotelli? He played in B.
Yeah, but Balotelli, they're saying, is coming to Torino. But his brother, Bari has a chance to get his brother.
Well, look, all I know is they need goal scoring in Serie B. I mean, you can't.
Speaking of Balotelli, he just got engaged. I just read with this. I don't know if she's an actress. Francesca Monti.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But he's in Turkey, right? He's playing in Turkey, no?
Yeah, but I think he's coming to Torino next year because Belotti's
they get-
going somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. So I know.
But I just want to mention, John, not only did Mancini leave off Balotelli, but also Matteo Destro, 9 goals prior to the game.
Well, we don't know if
and-
he left them off.
And then Pinamonti,
that's-
who scored a goal on the I think it was under 18.
Yeah.
The youngster who also had 9 goals prior to the match. Bernardeschi, who was the PK hero from Euro 2020.
Right.
Keane, Caprari, Calabria, and Okaka all left off.
Well, again, Vito, we don't know if it was his doing or the federation. All right. That's the big question right there. All right.
Did you hear about next year? Serie A next season during the break for the World Cup is organizing a mini tournament of the nations that did not qualify for the World Cup. The first phase to be played in Italy and the playoffs with 8 teams to be played in either Orlando or Abu Dhabi
So when is that? When is
during the World Cup
during during the World Cup?
next year.
Yeah, but that's not. Who wants to watch that? Those are all the teams that lost that didn't qualify,
Yeah.
including Italy. Disgrace. But what about the format? The way they play their qualifying games. Do you think they should change that?
Well, this wasn't good that they did. 4 years ago it was 2 legs. When they lost to Sweden, there was
Right.
2 legs.
Right.
This time was
was
like an
just-
American system where they were just one and done.
Right.
I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know if it's a good idea, but
So you say you play this team twice.
but you know what I say, John? Like you always say to me, Body, the reason why they got promoted, they went direct. Italy getting to the playoffs is already a failure.
Right.
You got to get, like they always used to win groups easily.
Yeah. They should have won the group. That makes life easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times now? 2 years in a row, Body failed to win the group.
Yeah.
And they lost in the playoffs.
Same thing with Italy twice.
Right.
They didn't win the group.
Right. So, Body has now 2 trophies. Serie D,
Yeah, and C.
Serie G.
Yeah.
Now we
maybe
need
B.
B. All right, and with any luck, we get Serie A, and we win a Scudetto one day.
I'd like to see it in my lifetime.
I'd like to see them redo the stadium a little bit,
Yeah.
upgrade it a little too. But yeah, you know what? The Bades, they're all happy right now. I think.
I may be going to Italy. We'll see September.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. So MLS, we got about 20.
Oh, I wanted to mention shout out to Orange Theory Fitness. I did tell them I was going to shout them out.
Okay. Well, they'll have to watch the show when it airs, probably on Monday. Yeah. So MLS, they had their Champions League.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow that.
No, I didn't.
New York City lost to Seattle.
Oh, really? Okay. I know they won the
And
cup.
they won the cup last year, but
Yeah.
they just got eliminated. NYCFC on Wednesday night. They played in Red Bull Arena because Yankee Stadium does not qualify as a soccer field.
Okay.
Champions League, right? MLS lets them play in that stadium. Why, I don't know. And the longer they let them do that, they're never going to get themselves a stadium, right? So New York was eliminated by Seattle. Now Seattle is playing Pumas in Mexico.
Okay.
In the final for the Champions League, CONCACAF Champions League. All right. With the season, MLS, they just started. They're only like 6-7
Yeah,
games in.
yeah.
New York City's out of a playoff spot right now. The Red Bulls are sitting, I think, in 3rd place. As far as the women's team goes, the Gotham, to me, they're a disgrace right now. And I say that because they let a lot of players go, and they brought in old players. So, in other words, I threw out my good couch and I brought in a busted one. All right, and I said, and then people that follow that team know what I'm talking about. The goalkeeper, like she's always getting hurt, and we had a good keeper, but they let her go. So I
John,
think.
I want to read some of the predictions when you get a
Yeah, once we're done going through everything, MLS, like I said, it's still early for the Mickey Mouse League, but in New York City.
Well, you know what, John? I think after this World Cup, the best news would be Ronaldo and Messi say we're coming to MLS. They're ready,
Everyone's looking for
35 and
that.
37.
I mean, yeah, everyone. I think Messi may be here before Ronaldo. I don't know, but he scored a hat trick today, Ronaldo.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
about time.
Yeah, and he brought up a good point because I follow him on one of his pages. He says it's not the individual stats, right? But when you do score goals and it helps your team get the win, it means even more, right? Instead of players just padding their own stats.
Well, did you hear what Taylor Twellman said during the Portugal-North Macedonia? I don't want to play Portugal if I'm in the World Cup. I mean, I don't see them being a dangerous team.
They're a good team.
They're good, but I don't
good
know.
team.
I mean, this is the final ride for him, but we'll see.
They would have beaten Italy, I believe, anyway.
Yeah,
I think
but,
they would have beaten
I
Italy.
mean, I don't really think that they are. I mean, let's see if they can get to the semifinals. But
Well, look, whenever you have a Ronaldo and a Messi on your team, you're always going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And you never know how far the team is going to
Yeah.
go. If those guys are on their games,
that's true. Well, Messi right now has got to feel all the confidence in the world. They won the Copa America.
right. So
I have no confidence.
let me critique.
in Italy in that game June 1st. I know it means nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Italy might lose 8-0.
Yeah, but who the hell is even going to watch that game? Why would you even watch that game? Why are they even playing? I know why they're playing, because they want to say goodbye to the old guy there, Chiellini.
Yeah.
Right?
But
It's a farewell game for
I don't
him.
even want to watch Italy games anymore.
No. There's no point in playing that game. It means more to Argentina.
Well, you know what's going on after that game? Italy's going to start to prepare for the Nations League qualification.
Right, that's fine.
England and Germany and Hungary.
So why is Chiellini even playing in that game? He's done. Why are we still carrying this player?
Yeah, that's true. That's
know?
the problem with Italy.
He's done. Say goodbye.
That's the problem with Italy. They don't know when to say goodbye because,
He's holding a spot for a young player to be on that team.
Correct, that's
He's taking up a spot there. So
true.
it's just it's disgraceful, And I spoke to someone just last week.
But not only him, but John, I'm sure you agree with this. After seeing that game, do you want to see Mobile on the national team again?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
So here's
And-
another thing. I spoke to a referee at a game, right? Referee, I'm talking to him. He's Italian. I said, so what do you think about the disaster? He says, oh, please, I don't even want to talk about it. I said, but I want to say one thing. Do you blame the coach or the federation? He said the federation. So, it is what it is. Nobody wants to talk about it. Why are they playing a game,
That's
now?
true. It's a meaningless game.
It's meaningless. It means nothing. But I get why they, I would understand more if they brought in younger players.
Well, now
Right?
now you got what Nicola Zaniolo did. He scored a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Nicola Zaniolo, Chiesa, as long as they're healthy,
Right.
they are.
Chiesa
should
not
be
being there.
Yeah, but Zaniolo is a really great star. He just got to stay healthy. Zaniolo's got to stay healthy. Chiesa's got to stay healthy.
Right.
Scamarca from Sassuolo, Zaccagni. They're interesting young players. And then if you look at the under 21, this big guy Lorenzo Luca, they're saying he's got a good future. There's a guy from Cremonese, I think is Ludovecchio mentioned him, Agrigento or something.
Yeah. All right.
There's a good player from Cremonese. There's a lot of interesting players.
Look, we spoke about it on the phone. I'd like to see the 2006 champion team. Those players step up and take over this team.
Well, you hear what Gattuso said? He goes, when we lost the game, it hurt. But he goes, these players today, they don't care. They have these $30 million contracts.
Oh,
Mancini's $10 million a year.
There you go. It's about that. Yep, it's about the money, and he's right. They walk off the field. They're not even thinking about it. We're the ones. The fans are the ones that suffer when they lose, right? So, again, Chiellini, I'm not watching that game.
Well, Bonucci, he's getting up there too. He's 34.
Oh, he's another guy that's got to be on the. If you're going to carry him for experience purposes, on the bench.
Yeah.
And that's also taking up a spot of a young player, right? I mean, I'm okay if he's off the team too.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with that.
I can't see Insigne, Immobile, Berardi after that performance.
But you know what? You never know with this federation. You never know. We hope it's not. But again, I don't know. We got the U.S. Thank God for that.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
never thought we'd be saying that.
Yeah,
We got
that's
the
true.
United States in the World Cup.
That's true.
Thank God that we at least get to see them for 3 games for sure.
Yeah.
But I really think they're going to get out of that group. I think they have a good
possible.
shot. Maybe them in England.
It looks
Right.
that way. It looks that way. I mean, the bottom line is, you got Weston McKennie playing in Juventus. You have some interesting. And then you got Reyna's son.
Right, but he got hurt. He pulled a hamstring. He's out. I don't know how long. He should be back for the World Cup.
Tim Weah's son.
Yeah, he owes. Reina's got hurt. It's too bad because I saw him in tears. You feel for when a player is like that, emotional on the field like that. All right, I just want to change subjects real quick. I got to mention the women's national team. All right, they just redid that whole team, right?
Yeah.
And the coach did say to all the big shot older women, Morgan and all these.
Didn't she do the draw, Carly?
Lloyd. Well, Lloyd's gone.
She did but she did the draw.
She did the draw. She was there, right?
Yeah.
No, she's not playing no more.
No, I know, but I'm saying she did the draw.
But again, I love this new team. They got a little attitude. This women's national team. They got some swagger. Rodman's daughter is going to be a star.
I heard about that.
She is unbelievable.
The women's national team should call.
Trinity-
They got to make a phone call to you. Say, John, we need you to be our cheerleader.
Well, listen, she is the highest paid women's. She
heard,
signed a contract for over $1 million.
I heard.
Right, 18 years old. Trinity Rodman, Dennis Rodman's daughter.
Yeah, I heard about
Unbelievable. Nothing like her father. Thank God for that. But I'm only kidding. But again, I love the swagger, the attitude of this
Dennis
team.
Rodman, as an athlete, was one of the best. I think.
Oh yeah, but he's a nut on everything else he does. But yeah, actually, I see him a lot now. He's all over the place. But no, she's a great soccer player. She plays for Washington, and actually, believe it or not, they're in New Jersey tomorrow. They're playing Gotham, and I think they're going to beat Gotham easily. The U.S. women's national team, they're getting ready for their qualifying games for their World Cup coming up. All right, and I think they'll breeze through that. And again, the United States women's team, it's their World Cup to lose.
Yeah, of course. Well,
All right.
we know what kind of domination they've done.
But and even though we see Morgan, no way. I mean, I don't know if he's going to bring her on later, but for now, she's not on the team.
Yeah.
Rampone and all the
Rapinoe.
get rid garbage. Just like with Chiellini, get rid of them. We need the younger players.
It's all about you always say it's a young man's game.
It's a young woman's game.
Yeah, young.
It's
If
the
you're talking
same-
about men or you're talking about women,
Right, it's a young woman's game.
youth.
Look at Rodman, 18. If you look at that league, all right, you go to the women's national league, look at the ages. They're all young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why I like the United States men's team doing something because they're 24 years old.
Right.
That's when you can show something.
Well, they should for years
you got
now.
the energy being young.
Well, look, the men's team should have really looked at the women's team and said, "How are they doing it? I get it. It's a different
Yeah,
game and all
yeah.
that. We get men
Yeah.
and women's different. But you look at the way they approached it.
Yeah.
Okay. The talent. There's talent there on the men's side too. How many men are playing overseas?
You got Jordan Morris.
Right. How many men? Well, no, he's older now. But
Yeah.
he's older.
Then you got Pepe.
Yeah. Pepe's good. Right. But Morris is on Seattle.
Yeah.
He just beat NYCFC. He scored a goal.
No,
But I don't know if he's a starting player
But
for us.
you know what, John? I just think in 4 years, I think that the U.S. Federation is going to call back Bruce Arena.
You know what? He's like, I'll compare him to like maybe a Bill Parcells.
I would.
He's like a mastermind of soccer, this guy. But although with New England last year, he lost to New York City in the playoffs.
But I just think a homecoming for him because they're going to host the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know who was one of my favorite coaches? Bora Milutinovic.
No, he's still coaching, and if he wants to coach the national team again, I would in a minute. I would do it. He's the best soccer mind, I believe.
I think Bruce Arena in 4 years will get us to the semifinals.
He's the best soccer mind as a coach in this country.
Oh, no question
in my
about it.
opinion.
Look at all the college
There might be other
championships.
guys, but
No,
again,
Bruce Arena is a legend.
but listen, you can have the best soccer mind, but you also
Yeah,
he demands respect too.
Yeah.
Players respect him,
yeah.
and that matters. That
Yeah.
matters a lot.
No, I'm just saying. I think that would be a great thing to have him in 4 years.
Yeah, great point there, and I would definitely take him in a heartbeat. I would
And
definitely take him.
hopefully, somehow Italy's there in 4 years, and Ancelotti's the coach.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Who knows? But to this point, the Federation doesn't see anything wrong with Mancini. It's ridiculous. But that leads me to believe he did not select the players. It's not on him. Because, Vito,
Yeah,
if I said...
but let me tell you one thing, John. I agree with what you're saying. But also, John, if you watch the game, Mancini, they had a bad... The first half, they couldn't score. Change something up. He waits for the 60th minute to bring Raspadori in. And then Raspadori almost had a scoring chance.
Well, you're talking about in-game changes, right? During the game, right? That's
But
one thing.
Starting the
that's
second half,
Right,
he should have made the subs. He waited for the 60th
And
minute. Gel Pedro brings him in when the game is over.
Right.
Why did you call him up? You
he made
No,
changes late.
You,
That's on
please,
him. No,
please.
that's on him.
There's no excuse there.
Listen, when you're down, when you're in do or die situation, you gotta make in-game changes. Yeah, that's on him. That's all on him.
Yeah.
But the selections, I'm talking about the player selection.
well, I don't
it
know.
could be the Federation.
I don't know, but John, let's face it. I don't think we're gonna on the big stage. If somehow they qualify by miracle in 4 years,
Right.
but his contract is up 2026 in May or June. But you know what? If he gets them to qualify somehow, but switch the coach.
Yeah, well, if he's still around by then, he may end up coaching them all the way. Yeah,
We'll
if he's
see.
still
But
around.
that's true if he's still around because they're saying that there's a rumor that he might go to PSG.
Let him go. Yeah, let him go.
Hopefully.
Let him go. Yeah.
Well, the only way he's going to go is if he resigns, John.
Right. After a disaster like this, either he's got to resign or he's got to get fired. You
I
cannot
agree.
still be the coach.
I'm totally in agreement with you, but it was premature to give him a contract extension after they beat Turkey 3-0 in the first round of the Euro. That was too premature.
Yeah.
But 4 years ago, we said it, that Mancini was not a guy that ever won anything big.
Yeah.
He never won a Champions League. He never won a Europa League. You know, Ancelotti's won best FIFA club. I think with Madrid, he won that. And then we spoke about the only coach to bring 4 different decades, getting to this far in the Champions League. You know, it's remarkable, like what he's done. Let's hope that somehow he's going to be there because this guy is probably one of the best in the history.
Right.
In a short period of time, what he's been able to do, Carlo Ancelotti, is amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to see the United States men's team, again, just do some good things in this World Cup
I
coming up.
believe in them. Well, do you know what their slogan is? I believe we can win.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's on both sides. Yeah, men and women's. It's always going to be a young man's game. Yes, you need experienced players. That does help, but you can't have a Chiellini playing on your back line anymore.
Let me tell you, I got some interesting.
I said, here's another mistake he made, Mancini. He brought in Chiellini late in that game.
I know,
For what?
I know.
For what?
Believe me, I was telling my uncle, I said, you could coach better than him. My uncle says, anybody could coach better than Mancini.
Yeah.
I mean, the selections didn't make sense. Listen to this. My mom has got Argentina and Brazil in the final.
Right. Okay. Hey, listen. Again, she's going with the teams that have been there, right?
Uncle Tony, Argentina, Belgium.
I'd like to see a different,
Dom Zina of Scheinbach USA. You got to check out that that sports store in Great Kills.
Right.
He's got Spain, England final.
Well, let's see what Brian's got in the final.
Oh yeah, I'm curious.
What's his pick for the final of the World Cup? Any countries that come to mind? England, Germany. No, see, I agree with him. You know.
But I don't know.
No, he's got to think about that. Maybe on the next show. But what about Germany? How they looking? The Germans.
Well, my sister's got them in the final against Spain.
Wow. Okay. You
That's
know
an
what? I
interesting
haven't
final.
seen them play.
Yeah.
I haven't really paid
Yeah.
too much attention to them.
Fabrizio's got Scotland in the final.
See, that's different.
Yeah.
Wait, Scotland?
They have to go through the playoff system.
Right. Yeah.
first.
They didn't even qualify yet.
Yeah, he's got them in the final.
Well, I guess he's got them beating Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right.
Brazil, Germany. Felix says that's the final.
Brazil,
Mark,
Germany.
Brazil, France. Dominic, the contractor, Brazil, France also.
Yeah.
Martino has got Cameroon in the final against England.
Well, I don't know about England, but Cameroon, I mean, they would love it, Cameroon. I'm expecting them to do good things.
I like to see it.
Yeah.
Mohamed Madavi of Liberia's got Holland, France final. Uncle Paul, Belgium, France.
France, I don't know. France,
Vitin Salata, Argentina, France. A lot of people high on France.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that they're gonna crash.
Right.
There's too much
Well,
pressure on them.
and a lot of
Well,
players.
look at the last few World Cups.
Wait,
Any World Cup winner always went
Isn't
out.
that France/Africa?
Exactly. That's
Right. How
true.
many Africans are on that team?
Who's from Algeria? Who's from
Right.
Senegal?
Yeah.
Who's from
Right. So
Martinique? Who's from
now that-
Angola?
right. So there you go. Maybe France only because that all the African
Yeah,
players.
but you know what? I just have a feeling the curse is going to be on for France. The last few World Cups, the winner, look at Germany was the reigning champion. South Korea took them out in the first round.
It's hard to win back to back. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to do it back to
but
back.
I think France's group is difficult.
And what are they doing in the Euros, France?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Switzerland took them out in the penalties and
Exactly.
quarters.
Yeah. So.
But they have Denmark in their group. Denmark is a dangerous team.
Yep.
And they have Tunisia, but they also don't know if it's going to be Australia, United Arab Emirates, or Peru. They don't know.
All right. We'll see what happens. I mean,
You know who I think is the group of death?
which one? What group?
Brazil's group. Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
No.
Pretty
No.
dangerous group.
Brian doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But Switzerland is 14th in the world. They
Yeah.
knocked out Italy. Serbia knocked out Portugal in the qualification.
Yeah.
But Portugal's group is dangerous too. Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. It's a
Yep.
tricky group.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. Again, it's a different time of year,
Yeah.
right? The shutting down the club
But
season.
let me tell you about Qatar. I saw them play in the Gold Cup. They were scary. They almost knocked out the United States in the semifinal. They missed the penalty.
I know.
They went as a visitor. They went all the way to the semifinals of the Gold Cup. I didn't-
We beat them in the end. We
Yeah,
beat
I
them.
just couldn't believe that they were high flying. I talked to some people. They said that a lot of their players are imported,
Right.
but only one country.
And they have to do that because they're the host, right? They got to have a good team.
John, only one country failed to make it out of the group stage. South Africa, 2010,
Right.
and they beat France at the
So you
last
think
game.
all five are going? All five African teams are gonna?
I don't have them all. I would love to see them all go through. I mean, Morocco's got Belgium, Canada, and Croatia.
Well, what about Canada? We didn't talk about Canada.
The group winners, the CONCACAF.
Yeah, what does that mean? It means nothing.
I know, it
It
doesn't.
means nothing right now.
Yeah.
In the World Cup, it means it's not going to mean
Canada's
anything.
ranked 38th in the world.
Mexico, they say, is not the same team.
It's the same, but they're ranked high. They're ranked
Right, right.
ninth.
I think Canada. I mean, what are they even doing in soccer? Number one. I mean, even before this qualifying.
Well, they beat the United States.
Yeah, I know they beat us. I know they did. You don't have to remind me on that. But I just think that's not their sport. I think they should stick to hockey.
Well, they got some young speedsters on that Canadian team.
They do, and they came at us. They came at us heavy. I remember that game in Toronto. It was freezing,
Yeah.
and they kept, like waves. They
Yeah.
kept coming at
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
I remember that game really. But I still don't believe in Canada. I don't think they're gonna get out of the group. You don't have them out of the group yet,
No,
right?
no. Some people do, but
Yeah, I don't think they're coming out. Yeah. Oh, Brian's saying the Canadians are gonna leave. They're gonna make it to the final 16, round of 16. Yeah?
it's a tough group.
All right. Oh.
Belgium, Croatia.
He might
and
be a
Morocco.
Canadian fan. That's what he is. He's a Canadian. No. Yeah. Right, right. Prime Minister, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they're worse over there than we were, and they with the lockdowns and all that stuff. I think they were doing it again now. They're starting to shut things down in Canada again.
You
But-
know, New Zealand's ranked 101. They're trying to get in
Yeah, all right.
101.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Canada's like a flash in the pan type of team, right? Are they
There's
going
the
to be?
second World Cup. They weren't in '86.
Thank you. That's what I mean. Like after this World Cup, where are they going to go? Where are they going to be?
They're going to get ready in 4 years.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't have too many games in Canada.
Yeah, we'll see.
We don't want. Why would you want the games there? Let them have like one or two.
I'm just curious. I'm so curious to hear your bracket because you told me prior to the show that the African teams are going to shine. So.
Yeah, they are going to shine. We'll do this. You know what? You got yours for this show, and we got 5 minutes left here. And my show, the next show, I'll have my bracket for the next one. Definitely, I'll fill it out. And I got to look at the groups. I actually want to wait to see what happens with that Ukrainian game. I want to see who gets in. I'll have a better idea for that group. Scotland and Ukraine, June 1st.
Yeah, Scotland, Ukraine winner gets Wales.
Right. And Wales, see
Wales
what
is
happened
ranked
with Wales,
18th.
right? They went on a little bit of a run,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they knocked out Austria.
Right. So,
Gareth Bale, very
Right.
good, and then you got Aaron Ramsey, former Juventus player.
yeah. So
And they're coached by Ryan Giggs.
I'd like to see Ukraine beat Scotland there. So that'll knock out your friend's bracket over there, right?
Scotland's ranked 39th. They haven't qualified for a World Cup. They have such a good league.
Yeah.
They haven't qualified for a World Cup in the
Yeah.
90s. It was the
Yeah.
last time Scotland got in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any confidence. I'd like to see the Ukrainians beat Scotland. So that's my pick.
Ukraine is 27th in the world.
Yeah. The problem I might have is I don't know where their mindset's going to be.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
around the team, obviously, but if they set their minds on that game, they probably will beat Scotland. I think in the normal circumstances they will beat
And I
Scotland.
got to tell you, United Arab Emirates, they want to get to this World Cup because they're practically going to be home.
Yeah.
They could beat Australia. They're ranked 68th. If they beat Australia, then they got to play Peru, who's ranked 22nd.
Yeah, Peru. I don't know how's that even possible? Peru. All due respect, but still, Peru 22nd FIFA rankings.
Why? What'd you
I
think?
question those rankings anyway.
Yeah,
Where's Italy now?
6th.
Sixth. Do you think they deserve sixth, Italy, after crashing out like that? Right. So that's what I mean. Like these FIFA rankings. I mean, who's ranking them? Who's doing it?
Look at Qatar. They're ranked 51st.
Oh,
I know.
but where's the United States?
15th in the world.
15. I mean, I really can't argue that, because of, it's the United States men's team. I really won't argue that, 15. But Italy being 6 after crashing out, maybe they should drop down to like 10.
Yeah. England is 5th.
Yeah, well, that's wrong too. I don't believe.
Argentina's 4th.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
France is 3rd.
I'm okay with that too, but I don't think England should be up there.
Spain is 7th.
What have they done? They lost in the finals in the Euros.
Yeah.
But what have they done before that? Nothing.
Yeah. But you know what?
They shouldn't be in the top 10. Italy should be ahead of them.
Yeah. But they have a chance, England, because
Because what? They always flop out
and
too.
they do.
always
they do.
flop.
Their history is
always losing.
Well, 4 years ago they got to the semis, so we'll see.
They
might-
haven't been irrelevant since Beckham
Yeah.
played. And you know what he's doing in Miami now, right? His son just got married,
Oh yeah.
right? And he's got that beautiful stadium in Miami.
But
He's got-
even with Beckham, they could not get deep in the World Cup.
But that's when they were irrelevant because they had a player like we have now, Messi, Ronaldo, right?
yeah.
He was their danger player.
Yeah, yeah. But
know.
their history has been against them.
Right.
1966. That's all they have is World Cup.
That's okay. I'm all right with that. But
You know
I
what
don't.
I'm going to bring to the next show? World Cup upsets, the major upsets in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Nigeria beating Spain in '98.
Right.
Algeria surprising Germany in '82.
Well, an upset to at least the Italian fans. Brazil knocking out Italy in 90. 94.
94. Well, that
94.
wasn't.
Penalty kicks.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a major.
Oh, it was a knockout for
Yeah,
the
but
Italian fan.
no, but I'm saying in terms of major upsets, there's some interesting ones.
You got to look them up. I'm
Senegal
sure.
beating France in
Yeah.
2002 in the first
Right.
round.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Well, I'm sure there's a few. Yeah, you can do is look that
Switzerland
up. But,
beating Spain in the first round in 2010.
all right, Vito, we got about a minute. Again,
3
Staten
minutes.
Strikers playing this weekend. You know, come out, support them in Middletown, New Jersey, which I know you won't be there, but that's okay. We're going to play for this borough. We're going to, you know, go out in Jersey and give it our all and try to stay undefeated. That's what we're going to do. So go Strikers. Any last thoughts?
Well, you know, talk about the real estate. Usually that's the first thing.
Well, you know what? Being out of the studio for a few months now is throwing me off. I have to get back into the rhythm. But yes, you're right. I always
I
start off
tell you,
with the real
John,
estate.
what's going on now is probably record-breaking. The best real estate market for sellers.
Right.
There are houses selling 50 over the asking, 150,000 over the asking.
Over. Huh.
And you know, there's a funny commercial on Facebook about this agent calls. Oh, I just got an offer 15 seconds ago. I'm going 40 over the asking. Oh, I got 50 other offers. Oh, they're saying they're willing to give up their firstborn. Oh, that's okay. We have another offer with they're giving up their first two-born.
Wow.
You know, it's a funny. It's all over Facebook. It's comparing the market of 2022 to 2016.
Right.
This market is the best real estate market in Staten Island's history right now. If you're a seller in Staten Island, you should be thinking selling.
Brian doesn't agree with you.
Because Brian's not in the real estate business.
Right.
So. I mean,
Agreed.
it's, you know, I'm going on 17 years, but
So what's the rate? Interest rate? Is it low?
yeah, it's still low. Went up a little bit, but it's 4. It's still good. But people want to get in, to lock in.
All right. Well, there's the music, and that's the end of another great show. Vito, thank you again for coming on. Thanks to Brian and Kenny on the other side of the glass. We'll see you guys on the next show. Ciao, Facebook.
Did you get me facing?